Hey y'all, Bridget Bartlett here with My Vision Agency, and today I want to show you how to edit your video in Descript so that you can make the most of our 4-hour workday strategy. The first step is obviously to record your video in Descript. Now, I want you to definitely not focus so much on this editing. I want to show you how to do this really fast and really effective. Now, the first thing I start out a video doing is saying testing, testing, testing. And that's because I want to make sure that it is keeping the beginning part of my video. Usually, if I don't say testing, testing, it'll cut off this first area here. So the first thing I want to do now is just simply highlight and then click delete. I'm going to click delete again, and then that brings up that line. Now, what I love about Descript is you can edit the video based on the script. So if I don't like this word here, I could just simply delete that, and it deletes it from the video as well. Now, before I even get started editing the video, there are a few things that I like to do first. Now, the first thing is going to the Underlord, and I want to remove all the filler words. So I'm going to click here. And filler words are basically, you can see that it's highlighted, but I can go through each of these and I can hear where in the video I use this filler word, and I can decide if I want to remove or keep it. I'm actually just going to remove, and I actually like that I say so much. It's something I just say at the end of every video, and so it would be weird if I removed it. So I'm not going to remove that one. I'm just going to click skip on that. I'm going to X out of this. So now we've removed all the filler words. The very next step to editing our video is going to be the shorten word gaps. Now, I like to use this because sometimes there are time lapses in the video, whether you're looking up something or maybe you just had to pause because you were trying to say the right thing. Whatever the reason is, there's always things that need to be shortened in the video. You can see I have 47 instances here. Now, I could go through each of these and verify, or I could just click shorten all. I typically do shorten all, and it hasn't failed me yet. Now, the next step is going to be to add studio sound. And this is going to remove the background. It's going to make my mic sound really rich and very professional. So adding this has been a really great addition to my videos. You can see down here, it is working to level the audio. And while we're waiting, we can go ahead and give the video a title. So I'm going to go ahead and click up here. We'll choose rename. And this video is about the HighLevel social planner. So I'm going to call it how to set up the HighLevel social planner. Now, the reason I'm giving it that title is so I know what it's about, but also I want to use the keyword HighLevel, and I also want to use social planner. So when my video gets posted to YouTube and someone is looking for HighLevel or social planner, they're likely to see my video because I've used those keywords in the title. And we can also go to the elements section here, and we can add an element to cover up the banner up here. Now, that's really important because we don't want people to see the browser. You can create a generic banner, or you can create something that you've designed really well with your QR code and logo and all of that. But the important thing with this is you want to highlight all of the text in the video. And then you want to go over to this little square here and click it. And then it adds it to the video. And we want to just shrink this down so that it covers up that browser. And of course, if we wanted to change the color, we could by clicking here, and then you'll see you can change the color here and the opacity and different effects and all of that. But you just need to make sure to highlight all of the text so that the system knows to keep this element in all of the text areas. So now let's start editing the video. You can see it says, hey, y'all, Richard Bright lit here. Okay, now that's obviously not what I said. So what I want to do is I want to highlight all of this text, and I'm going to click on correct. And what I want to correct is the transcript. So I don't say, hey, y'all. I do say, hey, all. So let's go ahead and change that. And obviously my name is not Richard Bright. So I'm going to type in my name, Bridget Bartlett. And Now it says, hey all, Bridget Bartlett here, and I'm going to click correct. So now if we listen to this, it's going to say the same thing, but now the text has been corrected. So the captions and the subtitles are all up to date. So let's go ahead and play this again. Hey all, Bridget Bartlett here, and today I'm going to show you how. So now what we want to do is go through the video and we want to make any edits that we need to the video. So let's go through that process. Go and get your social planner set up inside of your HighLevel account. Now, of course, you need to have a HighLevel account to be able to use the social planner. If you don't have one, you can go to myvisionagency.com. You can check out our free community here. If you want to access your 30-day free trial of HighLevel, you'll actually get a free membership in our reseller program by choosing this option here. If you're a current HighLevel customer interested in joining the reseller program, you can choose this option here. And back inside of the HighLevel account, you'll see in a brand new account, when you click the marketing tab and go to social planner, you'll see all of the different platforms that you can connect. You can also connect the communities that we have built inside of HighLevel as well. And once you have that connected, your account will look something like this. You want to go to the settings here and you can connect all of the different accounts. And really, you need to connect every account that you can. So if you don't have a Google Business or Facebook or Instagram, and keep in mind also, these are business accounts, not your personal profile. You do not have access on any platform to connect personal profiles to any type of automation tools. The API access doesn't exist for a reason. So you need to make sure that you have business accounts, okay? Once all of those are connected, you'll see that I also have my community. Now, I do say okay a lot in my videos, and I just want to remove it from here. So I'm just going to highlight that text, and I'm going to click delete. Now let's listen to that again. Accounts. Once all of those are connected, and you'll see that it's removed the word okay. You'll see that I also have my communities connected here. So when you connect your communities, you'll just simply choose the user that you want to post as. So if you have multiple users, you just want to connect that there. You have the notifications area here, so you can actually customize the notifications and choose what you want to be notified on. So you can see that I said what you want to be notified, and then I had to correct myself and say notified on. So I'm just going to highlight this word and delete it. I can even delete again, and it will remove that line there. So I'm going to go ahead and listen to this again. You want to be notified on. Okay, so it sounds pretty good. So if you want to be notified when the account is getting ready to expire, meaning your connection, you can select that there. You can turn that on, and you can also edit what that template looks like. So that's really important, especially if you have emails going out to clients, because you want them to approve the post. You'll also see post approval, rejected, and post failed as well. You have different categories here that you can organize all of your content in. You can also create watermarks here for your content, and you can set the global settings so that when it shares the images on the other platforms, it will actually optimize the image to ensure that it supports all of the channels there. So let's go back into the social planner. And you'll see that you have the planner view here. You also have your content here. Okay, so in this situation, it says planner review here, and I want to listen to that again. The planner review here, it sounds like I say view, but it could be review. So what I want to do is highlight this, and I want to correct the text to make sure that the text says view. But I also want to use this as an example to show you how you can use AI to correct the voice if you did not say something correctly. Let's say here I really did say review and I meant to say view. So what I want to do is first correct it in the transcript, and then I want to highlight this and I want to do regenerate, because I'm actually going to use an AI version of my voice to regenerate this word. So I'm going to click there, and now it's saying fix the audio and change what was said. So I'm going to click regenerate. And now you'll see here that it wants me to train and authorize the speaker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this, and it's going to record my voice. That gives them the authorization to use my voice to correct this. So I'm going to go ahead and record. I want Descript to create an artificial version of my voice that I can use to create speech that sounds like me. I'm training my voice by reading the following statement. Imagine a big blue ball spinning in space. That's our Earth. On it, there are tall mountains, deep oceans, and huge forests with animals. In cities, people talk, play, and work. We all have different voices. Some people speak softly, while others are loud. Every day, we tell stories, ask questions, and share jokes. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that as the recording. Okay, when it stops flashing, that means that it's done. So let's listen to what that sounds like. You have the planner view here. You also have your content. All right, that was pretty perfect. So let's move on now. Content here, you can upload CSV files. You can actually create reoccurring posts, and you can see all of those things here. You can see all of your review posts because we do have the ability to auto post to our social media scheduler based on the reviews that we receive. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. Let's listen to this again. Scheduler based on the reviews that we receive in the reputation management system. We can also schedule social posts based on RSS feeds, and it doesn't have to be just your RSS feed. It can be any RSS feed. You also have the template library here. So if you want to use any of the templates found in the template library, you'll see all of those show up here, and you can access those templates here. You also have the approval area so that you can find all of your approval posts in this section, and you have the categories here as well. And you can toggle those on. You can also edit the category in this area here if you want to. Let's go back. And what's cool about creating... Okay, so now I said, let's go back, and I actually thought of something else I wanted to say in the video. So you'll see this little dash mark here. That means that it removed something. So it was likely space that it was removing. And I actually just want to remove this section here where I say, let's go back. And let's make sure that makes sense if you want to. And what's cool about creating... Let's watch that again and make sure. Area here if you want to. And what's cool about creating all right, so it showed a little bit of the previous screen that I don't want it to when I cut this. So I'm going to actually just cut where I say also edit the category in this area. And I'm just going to remove this. All right, let's play this again. The category in this area. And what's cool about creating category... All right, I'm going to remove this too. So edit the category. And what's cool about creating category... Yeah, that was much, much better. Is you can actually create a queue. So when you post, when you're scheduling all... Okay, and you just saw me do something that I do a lot. I will start saying something in a video, and then I'll say, oh, that's not really what I meant to say. So if you just pause, then you can just come back and remove this here. So we'll play again. Actually create a queue. So when you're scheduling all of your posts, you can actually just add them to a category, and then those posts will be posted when you have chosen for your category to post. So you're actually adding all of these posts in a queue of the category, and then it will auto post according to what you've scheduled the category to post. And then you also have your different statistics here. So you can see that, so you can see your engagement. Okay, so that's a section that I want to remove. And then you also have your different statistics here so that you can see. So you can see, and I'll just remove this. And now it should say, and then you also have your different statistics here so you can see your engagement on each individual post. So let's check that out. Make sure it makes sense. You also have your different statistics here so you can see your engagement on each of the individual platforms. All right, that was really seamless. So that sounds good. Let's move on. Forms here, you can see the number of posts that have been scheduled. You can also see the engagement per platform, the impressions, the post reach, and you can see your top performing posts as well. You can check out the engagement stats here and the gender demography. Okay, you can see that I struggled to pronounce that word. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight this, delete. Let's listen to it again. Engagement stats here and the gender demography. All right, now there was still too long of a pause. So what I want to do is I want to go to show the timeline. And down here, you'll see the basic editing functions that any video editor has. It's just with Descript, we don't often have to really use this area, thankfully. But what I want to do is I want to find that break in the words here. I want to find that space. So you can see it says engagement. Down here is engagement stats here and the gender. And right after gender is where there's a space. So I'm just going to move this little line down here. And you can see this space here in the timeline. What I want to do is I'm going to go to this little blade option and I'm going to click in the timeline where I want that to cut. So I'm going to cut there. And then I'm also going to cut here. And then I want to go to the arrow and then I'm going to select this section and then delete. So now that deletes that whole dead space in the video. So let's listen to that again. Engagement stats here and the gender demography. Okay, much better. All right, let's continue on. Now going back into the planner here, if you want to organize them by this list view, you can check that out there, or you can actually look at the calendar view here if that makes it easier for you. You can filter all of your posts by content, by status, the approval status created by the approver, the category, and even the tags as well. Now, when you want to create a post, all you have to do is click New Post, and you can click here to create the post. You can upload a CSV. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this. Create the post. You can upload a CSV, which I think is super, super cool for automation. You can also choose from any of the social planner templates here, and these are completely unbranded template packs that have the images as well as the content of the images. You can select these for yourself or a client. We also have the content AI, so we can actually use AI and our brand voice, if we have stored that, to create content that is targeted for our perfect client and our business. We can also preview the brand voice here and make any changes that we need to. You can post RSS feeds, so it can be either your blog or maybe another blog. You can also choose the social channels that you want to post it to. And you can follow it up with some text of your own, maybe a call to action. You can check the feed once a day or every 3 hours or any of these options here. And then you can also choose how many posts that you want to post per update. You also have post reviews. So like I said, in the reputation management system, you can actually choose which of the reviews that you want to post. In this case, I'll just say Google. I can choose what type of Okay, so that was a long pause too. So I'm going to go ahead and cut with the blade. We're going to select this here and select this here. And we're going to choose the little arrow. And you can see this is actually 2 sections. And you can tell that by when you highlight with the blue. So I'm going to delete this, and then I'm going to select that and delete that as well. Now let's go back and listen. Choose what type of review or testimonial that I want to post. And we can say 5 stars or 4 stars and above, typically 5 stars. You can choose the account that you want to post those reviews to. You can choose the maximum number of posts per day. You can also choose when you, all right, that was another long pause. Typically removing the gaps helps a lot, but there are times when it doesn't catch a specific gap that you want to remove yourself. So that's how you manually do that. Let's go ahead and listen, make sure it makes sense. Number of posts per day. You can also choose when you want to send this, every day, week, or month, and then what time. And you could choose where you want it to be posted in, like the feed. You would then click next. And then you could choose the template that you want to use to post your review. You can also upload one here. Now we also have the category queue. This is what I was referring to before, where you can actually create your category. You can enable future posts to go to the queue. You can also prioritize new content. Once you have that set up, you just click continue and create your posts. So to create a post from the beginning here, now to create, okay, so we want to remove this and this. We can even hit enter to add a new line, posts. Now to create a post, we just need to click here to create new post. And we're going to choose the social channel that we want to create the post on. And you can also see when you have your communities connected that you can not only choose the community, but you can also choose the channel within the community. So in my entry-level visionaries community, I have a channel called announcements. You'll also see in the visionary resellers, I have a channel called Brand Blast Social Auto. So if I want to post to any of these communities, I can just select that here. Okay. I can even post to multiple communities if I want to. Now I can also choose to post to all of these other networks as well. And this is why it's so important to have these social media platforms, even if you're not on them, even if you're not engaging. We want our customer or client to go to our different social media platforms to be able to find us and find relevant content, even if it feels like it's useless because it's not getting much traffic. It's the social proof that we're really going for here with posting to the different social media channels. Now, obviously, you need to have a video to post to TikTok. Pinterest has different requirements. YouTube needs a video as well. So you want to definitely stay within the requirements of whatever that platform needs. Now here, I can go ahead and start typing out my post. I can also create a custom post for each of the different channels here. So you'll see if I wanted to use AI to create my, okay. So I'm just going to delete this part here, different channels here. If I wanted to use AI to create my post, let's just click here and let's go to AI, generate with AI. We're going to use our brand voice here. Let's say busy entrepreneur. Let's provide a, all right. So I said that twice. Let's go ahead and remove this. Make sure it makes sense. Here, let's say busy entrepreneur. Let's provide a brief content description. So we'll say busy entrepreneur struggling to answer phones, work on computer, and take care of children at home. We can add some keywords here. We'll say work from home, enter. And we're going to choose the writing tone. We can choose our knowledge base, which I have the professional tone here, or we can choose any of the other options here. And we can also create a number of variations, and we could choose how long do we want this to be. We can choose a custom link or small. For the sake of the training, I'll just say small, and let's generate the content. Now it's created 3 different variations for us to use, and we can read through and choose which one we want. We could also click copy, and then it adds the post here to our workspace here. Okay, now you can see I was pausing a lot. If it's a scene transition, I don't really worry about a longer pause, but if it's between words, I really don't want that long pause. So I'm going to delete this area. Let's go back here because I want to delete this dead space as well. All right, now let's listen to that again. That adds the post here to our workspace here. We can also rate the AI content. We'll say and let's continue. So now you'll see that it's added that post there. We can also create a post image using AI. So let's go ahead and click there. And it's saying describe your image. So I'm just going to say busy entrepreneur. Let's just copy this. Let's go back to the image. All right. So I clicked on the wrong button and I said, let's copy this. So I'm just going to remove that. Busy entrepreneur. Let's go back to the image. And I don't know what that's going to generate, but let's just check it out. And we want to choose the style of our art. Let's just say 3D model and generate. Now I will say the better your prompt, the better output you're going to receive. But looks pretty good. We do have a weird arm coming out of nowhere here, but that's actually funny because sometimes we do feel like we need multiple arms. All right, there was a long pause. So I am going to just cut this after that last word, and let's remove it. And let's listen to it again to make sure that it makes sense. Actually funny because sometimes we do feel like we need multiple arms. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and choose this one. I don't need to say okay, and I don't need to say all right. So we'll delete that. Multiple arms. So let's go ahead and choose this one and continue. So now you see that we have quickly created our content here and the image. We have the ability to add the post. All right, long pause that I don't like. So we're just going to click this. Go ahead and click this as well. And we're going to delete this space and this space. And the image. We have the ability to add the post. We have the ability to make this bold. Okay, so I said that twice. So let's remove. We have the ability here and the image. We have the ability to make this bold, italicized. We can add emojis, other images, documents, videos, hashtags. What's cool about the hashtags is you can actually store hashtags that are good for your business. And then you can choose how many hashtags do you want to be randomly selected from the list. And I have mine set to 3. You can see how you can set that here. Let's go ahead and just save and apply. And now you can see all of my hashtags have been added to the post. Now you can customize for each channel by toggling this on, and you could just go through here. If I wanted this to be different for Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or even my community, I can change all of that here, and you can see what all of your different posts look like if you scroll through here. You can also add a follow-up comment. This is really useful when posting on social media for your call to action, because if you put a link up here outside, it doesn't matter so much in the community, but if you put a link up there outside of the different platform, the platform likes to bury it because their goal is to keep people on the platform. They don't want them to leave the platform. So if you have a call to action that makes them leave the platform, the algorithm's going to bury that. So here you may want to say, in the description, you can say, check the first comment for the... Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it out where I say, you may want to say, listen again, algorithm's going to bury that. In the description, you can say, check the first comment for the link to join our free community. And then you can add that link here and say, to join our free community, here's the link. You can also choose your category here. So I'll just say live events, and we can choose what this is about. Let's just say my vision agency. And then here you'll see we have the community option. So we want to give our post a title. And here is where the magic happens within communities, because you don't need to send all of your community members a separate email to let them know that you've added a new post in the community. You can actually just click here to notify them, and you'll see that it puts the @ everyone tab, just like Facebook does. It adds this tag here, and then it will automatically send all of the members of your community a notification to let them know you've just added a new training or a post to the community, and then they'll click there to go into the community. So it definitely helps to improve the engagement there. Now, once you're ready to post, you can come down here. You can, of course, save for later, or you can click here to post. You can post now. You can schedule the post. You can send the post to approval, or you can even make this a reoccurring post if you want this to post at the same time on a regular basis. When you click recurring post, you'll see that you can. All right, so I just said that. Seems redundant to me, so I'm going to remove this part where it talks about the reoccurring post, or you can make this a reoccurring post, or you can make this a reoccurring post. And I'm going to remove this. When you click recurring post, you'll see that you can repeat. Let's go ahead and listen to this whole thing here. Make sure it makes sense. Approval. Or you can even make this a reoccurring post. When you click recurring posts, you'll see that you can repeat every day, week, month, or year at a specific time. You can add the date range that you want to be a reoccurring, and then just click schedule post. Now backing out of this, to see all of the posts that you have scheduled, again, you can see the list view or you can see the calendar view here. All right, that is how easy it is to set up the social planner to ensure that you are getting the most out of your content by sharing it to not just the social this definitely messed up there. Let's see. That's how easy it is to set up your social planner and ensure that you are getting to make sure you get the most. Okay. We're just going to remove all that, make sure this makes sense. To ensure that you get the most out of your content by not just sharing it to the social channels, but also to your community, and then using that @everyone tag so that it will notify your community members to check the community for new content that you've created. Now, again, if you are okay, we'll remove that. Now, again, if you are not a member of our free community or HighLevel or our reseller program, you want to go to myvisionagency.com. You can register here to join our free community. You can also click here to create a free trial of HighLevel or join our reseller program here. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I look forward to working with you in open office hours. Go make your vision a reality. Okay, now it did not pick up my word by. And I could regenerate this so that it says it using my AI voice, but I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. And then we don't need to worry about it. All right. So my video right now is good to go. Now, the very last thing that I need to do is export it. So I'm going to click here to export. I want to make sure that this is the max resolution and it's public. I'm going to go ahead and export. All right. So it has been published. Now what we need to do is download. And we've already given our video a title, so that makes it easy, and I'm going to save. Now it's going to render the video. It does take a few minutes, especially if you have a high quality video. Typically, my videos take about 5 minutes to go ahead and render, and then it's free to use. You can then continue on uploading to your community, scheduling to social media. So that is how you want to create your tutorial video, and you want to edit it inside of Descript so that you can move on with the other steps in your 4-hour workday strategy. Thank you all for joining me today. And remember, you can go to myvisionagency.com/Descript to create your Descript account. If you have any questions, feel free to join me in open office hours. I look forward to working with you. Go make your vision a reality.